Okay, so in this video we're looking at the Quntis Laptop Monitor Lamp Pro. It's the second version. It's auto dimming. It is okay for monitors, laptop screens from 1 through to 15mm thick. It comes with a power cord which has it's essentially USB C, but has a USB-A, which is what we know, as a standard, the biggest USB plug. As one touch on off, auto dimming, color temperature, like their other monitor lamps go from 3000K to 6500K, and it again is dimmable, and you can change that from 5% through to 100. So let's get the box open and we'll have a look as to what you get. So you get a manual and an Allen key. There's the cable. Comes in quite a posh cover. Seems overkill, but I guess you might carry it around with you for work or whatever and put it in your bag. It's metal construction, probably aluminium. And first things first is that can come off. So that is gloss finish on there, which is quite nice. Now, how it fits to the laptop is essentially via a foam padded crocodile clip. So if we just see in there, so you've got 1 to 3mm in this section, and then 4 to 15mm in the wider section. So if you've got a super thin laptop screen, then you'd put that right the way home into that part of it there. And if you've got an old cronk of a laptop like me, it will go in the thicker portion there. The lamp on the clip itself just is quite stiff and just rotates based on where you want it to go. That. Let's have a little looky at the cable. Now with this sort of thing, you don't want a massively long cable, because otherwise it's going to be flopping around all over the place. So we have got a Velcro cable tidy there as well, and there is a rubber cable tie there, and this is what I mean by the two connectors. So that's USB-A standard connector, and then it also has a USB-C. So let's reposition the camera and we'll take a look at the monitor with the clip on. Okay, so there has been some thought put in, as you can see here, as to cutouts for things like webcams, which generally live at the top of your screen on your laptop or notebook or whatever you want to call it, in the center and the top of the bezel. However, the clamps here, if I just move that to one side, I'm not quite sure if you can see, we'll zoom in, no, in, not out, zoom in a little bit. So here you've got the light sensors and the microphone for my webcam on my laptop, and they, if you're going to put this centrally, especially if you're OCD, you're definitely going to want to put it centrally, cover all of those. Now I use an external webcam, so for me that's not too much of a problem, but if you do use your webcam and you have things that you do not want to be covered, such as light sensors or the microphone itself, you're going to have to mount that off to one side. Possibly no biggie, but that would drive me personally mad, and it needs to live in the middle. So let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so this is what we're looking like tilt that down. There we go. So this is what we're looking like with the clip on. You know, it removes on and off fairly easily, and it's sturdily on there, but it's not going to cause, I don't think, the screen any issues. It clamps sufficiently without being overbearing, if you like, with the clamp. So there's your light sensor, and these are your respective switches. So you've got your power, auto setting for auto brightness and colour. You've got colour temperature and brightness. Now, one thing I have noticed on here, and I don't know if you can see, is the clamp is all the way home, but it has got a very slightly on the skew. The clamp is straight, that is on the skew. So I think if the manufacturer looks at this, that's something that they perhaps need to adjust. I'm not sure if that's just through the spring loading of the clip, but it is ever so slightly. Let's just turn that around now. I don't know if you can see. It is ever so slightly, about 2mm on the slant. Now you can obviously just adjust it with the clip, and I'm just being fussy, but for those of us who want to know about these things, something to bear in mind. Now it is a pretty sturdy unit, and I'll plug it in a second, but what I would say is it could have been a little bit smaller. Bearing in mind it is for a laptop, so when you take into account the size of a monitor light, and I reviewed one of their monitor lights in a previous video, and I'll put a link to that in the card, which will pop up now. That was quite small, and I don't see any reason why this has got to be so chunky, especially as it's for a laptop. I think this could have been much smaller, or if anything made into you know, have a small light bar, but just with it have this clip attachment. But there we go. Now some people may just use their laptops. They might not have a monitor and a PC and things, and you would have this like I do with this laptop here, have it up on a stand, so that would possibly work quite well. So there it is, turned on the screen there, sitting on top of the screen, and there we see it with the laptop illuminated. And the whole, although it probably doesn't give you a very good idea with the camera accounting for the increased light, it does illuminate the desk area around the laptop very well, so it does a very good job of that. And in terms of the brightness, we just, you know, we can keep pressing, or you can hold your finger on, and as you see there, it's got stepless brightness in terms of brightness. And then from color, light, temperature, you can press and cycle through, as you can see there, or you can hold and it will cycle through. Color, temperature, as you can see there, so stepless in that respect as well. And then we've got on and off, and then the auto mode, where you'll turn auto mode on and it will adjust itself for the ambient light. And you can see, maybe you couldn't because it was very slight there, but it just adjusted the light down a little bit because there is ambient light and it doesn't need to be so bright. So what do I think of this product? I think the you know, where I said earlier about it's got a millimetre or two slight slants, probably not that big of a deal for some people, and that might just be this particular one. Could cause you some problems with your webcam, as I said. The unit itself could be a bit smaller. I think it could be far more compact and neat, because it's quite a chunky old affair there. So that's something to take account of. And it's pretty adjustable in terms of where you're going to want the light. If, however, you turn the light, let's just bring the camera up a little bit to show you what I mean. You're not going to have this tilted too far because it is pretty bright, and it kind of defeats the object, but that's not really how you're going to. You have to play a fairly. So from where I'm sitting there at a desk, in a desk chair at seated position, I can't see the light at all. Camera is slightly lower, so you can see some section of the light. In terms of it being on the screen, I mean that's sort of fully on the screen, and then you bring it away. So from that point, I can't see. This desk area is very well lit, very well lit. I can't say this is a product that I would necessarily buy myself. Reason being is that I just don't tend to carry lots of accessories around with me. But if you're someone who wants that kind of product and is looking for a good, well-priced option, this is definitely something that I would consider. So that's the Quntis 30cm Screenlinear Pro laptop LED lamp. $29.99 on no, not eBay. What I'm talking about, on Amazon. Put a link in the description. Yeah, there we go. So thanks for watching today, and see you on the next one. Bye for now.